It's widely believed that the Hollywood lifestyle is full of glitz and glam, however that seems to be nothing more than a scam. With the recent strikes from the SAG-AFTRA union, the Screen Actors Guild, and American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, it's become strikingly clear that acting and writing jobs in the show business are full of bad pay and disrespect. With threats of AI taking jobs, incredibly low wages, and the ephemeral quality most streaming services have these days with no ability to receive residuals or even keep work available to watch, it isn't a shock why this SAG-AFTRA union is stepping up to the picket lines. The rules of the strike include the likes of any union member no longer being able to work on camera or behind the scenes. Actors are also prohibited from promoting projects they've already filmed in the form of interviews, premieres, fan expos, festivals, and podcast appearances, among other types of publicity, as long as the strike continues, and it doesn't seem to be coming to an end anytime soon. With a movement this big, most actors and writers have come out with a statement about the strike, what it means to them, and how they'll be supporting it. The amount of celebrity supporters out there are almost too many to count, so this is our list of the top 10 celebrity reactions to the Hollywood actors strike. Coming in at number 10 is George Clooney. The Ocean's 11 actor has been in the industry since the late 80s and was at one point almost a poster boy for what an actor was, so it would be surprising for him not to support a strike that would make his career path a viable option for others. The actor made a statement to the media outlet Deadline about the strike earlier this week in an article entitled "George Clooney says the SAG strike is an inflection point in our industry." More specifically, Clooney said, "Actors and writers in large numbers have lost their ability to make a living," adding, "This is an inflection point in our industry. For our industry to survive, that has to change. For actors, that journey starts now." The Deadline article goes on to update the status of the strike, saying, "SAG's leadership officially ratified the strike following failed AMPTP, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, negotiations that were extended by 2 weeks but yielded little. The dispute is expected to rumble for some time. The writers' strike has so far been going on for nearly 3 months and shows no sign of stopping, and as long as things don't change for the better, the longer this strike will keep going strong." At number 9 is Glen Powell. The Top Gun Maverick supporting actor replied to a tweet from Variety magazine that wrote, "You cannot change the business models as much as it has changed and not expect the contract to change too. What are we doing? So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall," with a link to an article entitled "Watch Fran Drescher Blast Insulting AMPTP Behavior in a Fiery SAG-AFTRA Strike Speech. Shame on you." In her speech she added, "We are labor and we stand tall and demand respect and to be honored for our contributions. And we are being victimized by a very greedy entity." Glenn quote tweeted the post by saying, "For years I survived off of residuals while trying to make it as a working actor. This business continues to evolve and actors' livelihood should be protected every step of the way. I stand in solidarity with my fellow artists." As streaming services continue to roll out new shows, the concept of residuals, which used to be the bread and butter of an actor or writer's livelihood, has now become null and void. It is just absurd to me that you could star in a show, have that show watched by millions of people, thus attracting subscribers to the streaming site, and yet basically receive nothing for your work and continued use of likeness. At number 8 is Yvette Nicole Brown. The Drake and Josh actress, or more recently known for her work in Community and Actor Age, posted an update on Twitter about her current status in the strike with proof of work on the picket lines. She writes, "It's official at SAG-AFTRA has voted to strike. We will be joining the WGA, or Writers Guild of America, on the picket line starting tomorrow. We all got together last week to create our signs. I was on sticks. Without a splinter thanks to duct tape, think of your girl. Hashtag Union Strong." Alongside pictures of her work, making multiple signs that read SAG-AFTRA on strike. Coming in at number 7 is John Cusack. The Say Anything star made reference to his famous role in his reaction to the strike, saying on Twitter, "The greed is almost a legendary comic trope. Fun fact, when I was a youngin', I did a film with a boombox. Never expected to see any money, but the film became quite famous. So about 10 years ago, I looked again at the financial statements they were obligated to report, and to my shock, they claimed they had lost $44 million on the film. I thought, wow, I almost bankrupted Fox, but not really. The film cost about $13 million to make, and money spent to release was minimal at the time. 30 years in, that film lost millions every year. A neat accounting trick, don't you think? This basically means that the production company lied straight to John's face in order to not pay him well. Yeah, seems like something that happens plenty in this industry. It's a miracle this strike took so long to commence." In another tweet, John condemned the AMPTP's reported terms on the use of AI as it pertains to background actors. On Thursday, National Executive Director and Chief Negotiator Duncan Crabtree Ireland detailed in a press conference that the AMPTP reportedly wanted the right to scan the likeness of background actors, pay them for 1 day of work, and own the rights to their image in perpetuity. To which John wrote, "AI is a giant copyright and identity theft. It's a criminal enterprise, and in 10 years they'll all say, 'We had no idea this would happen,' when the scope and scale of the plunder was revealed. But of course, they always knew." This won't be the last time that AI is mentioned on this list, but I'd like to add here that I can't believe no one saw a massive strike coming as soon as AI hit the scene and seemingly only took over creative jobs. Stealing a person's likeness and not compensating for their continued usage seems to be all the rage in Hollywood, and I honestly find it incredibly disturbing. It is so obvious why there's pushback. Also, if there's ever a world where all content is mass produced produced via AI, get ready to hate every television show and movie on the market. Why would I want to watch something made by a soulless robot is a question not enough people are asking. At number 6 is Padma Lakshmi, a writer on Top Chef and formerly on the creative team for Star Trek Enterprise, made her reaction debut on Twitter as well with an informative tweet that read, "As a member of both SAG-AFTRA and WGA East, I stand in solidarity with my fellow striking union members. We demand what is fair, adequate compensation, and creative protections. Streaming revolutionized our industry and has changed the game. As a vital part of the creative process, we want an equitable share of the profits our work has earned. Our industries are built on collaborative process. We want our contributions recognized fairly. Thousands of livelihoods depend on equitable contract that is long overdue. Honestly, every claim and desire that these union members are making are incredibly fair. Like, wanting your work to be fairly compensated for and have the correct people recognized for their contributions is what everybody deserves in any workplace. It doesn't come as a shock to me that one of the most exploitative industries is continuing to exploit people in any way it can. But I hope that everyone understands that the strike is just coming from a place of not wanting to be mistreated, which makes total sense. At number 5 is Octavia Spencer. The Moss star unsurprisingly also made a statement about the current strike, making an Instagram post with a picture of Teamsters, IATCE, Writers Guild, and DGA's joint statement of solidarity with SAG-AFTRA, meaning that almost every performance-based unit in America is currently on strike. Octavia captioned this statement by saying, "I stand with my fellow SAG-AFTRA members during the SAG strike alongside the WGA in their fight, and I support the many skilled unionized workers across all industries that deserve fair compensation. We cannot do it without each other." At number 4 is Mark Ruffalo. The 13 going on 30 star decided to make his statement to the strike not with his own words, but by quoting Lois Smith, a Tony Award-winning actress who made an appearance in Wes Anderson's The French Dispatch and Greta Gerwig's Lady Bird. Mark was right to let her do the talking because she eloquently put into words what needed to happen during the last strike is exactly what needs to happen in this one. She said, "I urge us to strike at the same time as the writers to change the awful inequity of money and power in film and television. I remember when we went on strike in 1960, the only time writers and actors struck at the same time. That strike got us film residual checks. A monumental change. This moment is important and unusual not to be missed. I do believe that this strike will have the power to change the current career paths of actors and writers, which at the current moment, those jobs seem to be on the basis of volunteership and feeling grateful that you even got a chance to have someone take a second look at you." At number 3 is Patton Oswalt. The comedian known for his recent work in BoJack Horseman quote tweeted a post by the account discussing film, who wrote, "The studio's AI proposal to SAG-AFTRA included scanning background actors' likenesses for 1 day's worth of pay and using their likeness forever in any form without any pay or consent. To add to this, many actors had no idea that this was even happening and thus did not consent to have it done. An incredibly scary and unnerving turn of events in Hollywood. Many actors have found that their random motion and facial captures that the studio did for seemingly no reason or for nefarious and unethical reasons, with the intention of making mass-produced AI films and television in the near future." Patton Oswalt responded to this the way most people would, saying, "Sweet Jesus, you bet we're on strike, #UnionStrong," which is really all he had to say. To reiterate, the AI threats in Hollywood right now are alone enough for people to be standing up for their rights and dignity. I hope it makes the people in charge scared enough to shelve this goddamn monstrosity and creative enemy of a technology. Our runner-up is Margot Robbie. The star of the highly anticipated Barbie movie helmed by Greta Gerwig has also decided to join the SAG-AFTRA movement. Sky News reported on her decision, writing on Twitter, "Whilst gracing the pink carpet, #Barbie star Margot Robbie enthusiastically said she supports the actors' strike and all the unions, and would be prepared to join the picket lines as well." She was joined by her co-star Ryan Gosling. Director Greta Gerwig also joined in and lent her support to the cause, as she is a member of the DGA, WGA, and SAG, and said, "I'm all in." Many stars have been witnessed leaving press junkets and red carpets going straight to the picket line, and it's not surprising why Margot Robbie will be joining the crew. Our number 1 spot goes to Daniel Radcliffe. The actor famously known for the Harry Potter series, but more recently for his work in the Roku original Weird Al Yankovic biopic, gave a statement to Vanity Fair magazine saying, "The strike is what we're all talking about at the moment. I'm one of the very, very lucky and rare actors that has a strong position to negotiate from when I work. This is not the experience of most people, and I do think that both actors and writers who are currently striking, nobody wants these things to happen, but I think they're incredibly necessary for the way the industry is going. Technology has changed so much about the industry in the last 10 years, it feels like it's absolutely time. There will need to be a recalibration in order for everybody to work still to be able to attract great people to the industry, great writers and great actors. And also, along with all the AI stuff, which also feels very important right now, we are probably one of the first industries that's going to have a say in how this stuff affects us. It's going to be probably the first of many that will have some version of this conversation. I think it's very important that we take a stand on that now. And that is our list of the top 10 celebrity reactions to the Hollywood actors strike. Let us know your opinions in the comments down below, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.